I want you to imagine a clock ticking in the background of your life. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Every single time it ticks, you get older. That is inevitable. But the uncomfortable question is, are you getting richer? We spend our 20s thinking we have infinite time. We spend our 30s thinking we will catch up later. And then we hit our 40s and realize, later is today, and the bank account is still empty. Most people are walking through life completely blindfolded. They have absolutely no idea where they should be financially. They just pray that the government will save them, or that they'll somehow win the lottery. Spoiler alert, the government is math, not magic. And the lottery is a tax on people who are bad at math. So, today, we are going to remove the blindfold. I have pulled the latest, inflation-adjusted benchmarks specifically for the economy of 2026. We are not using the old advice from 1990. That advice is dead. We are using the new rules of money. We are going to break down exactly how much net worth you should have by age 30, age 40, and age 50. This is the roadmap. This is the scorecard. By the end of this video, you will know exactly if you are ahead, on track, or behind. And if you are behind, don't click away, because I'm going to show you the mathematical cheat code to catch up, even if you are starting late. My name is Ryan. Let's stop the clock and look at the numbers. Before we get to the specific numbers for your age, we need to address the elephant in the room. Why do we need a 2026 guide? Why can't we just use the advice our parents gave us? Because your parents likely bought a house for $40,000 and paid for college with a summer job at a milkshake stand. You are trying to buy a starter home for $450,000 while paying $500 a month for student loans. The game has changed. The difficulty setting has been turned up to hard mode. The old rule was save 10% of your income. In the economy of 2026, saving 10% is a ticket to working until you are 75 years old. With inflation hovering and the cost of healthcare exploding, the new baseline for safety is 20%. But don't panic. The numbers I am about to give you are benchmarks. They are targets. If you aren't hitting them yet, that is okay. The goal of this video isn't to shame you. It is to wake you up. Because you cannot hit a target that you cannot see. So, let's start with the first major milestone. The end of your youth. The big 3-0. Your 20s are for making mistakes. Your 30s are for fixing them. By the time you blow out the candles on your 30th birthday cake, the trial period of adulthood is officially over. So, where should you be? The data on the average 30-year-old is genuinely scary. The average American at age 30 has a negative net worth. They have student loans, maybe a car loan, and about $3,000 in credit card debt. They are technically worth less than zero. If you have one single dollar in your pocket and no debt, you are richer than 40% of 30-year-olds. But we don't want to be average. Average is broken. We want to be secure. By age 30, the golden rule of finance says you should have 1 times your annual salary saved in net worth. If you make $60,000 a year, you should aim to have a net worth of $60,000. If you make $100,000, you should have $100,000. Now, I can hear you screaming at the screen. Ryan, that's impossible. I just started working. I have loans. I get it. That number sounds aggressive. It sounds high because it assumes you started investing at age 22. Most of us didn't. So let's break it down to the minimum safe standard. If one-time salary is too high, here is the absolute floor you need to hit to not be drowning. First, you must be consumer debt-free. I'm talking about credit cards and high-interest personal loans. Student loans are okay for now. A mortgage is okay. But if you are 30 years old and still paying 24% interest on a credit card because of a vacation you took 3 years ago, you are in a financial emergency. You are bleeding out. Second, the emergency fund. You need 3 months of basic expenses in cash. Not invested in crypto. Not in a volatile stock. In a high-yield savings account. This is your shield. This is what stops a flat tire from becoming a financial crisis. Third, the match. You should have at least something in your 401k or Roth IRA, even if it's just $10,000. You need to have started the clock on compound interest. Why is age 30 so critical? Why am I stressing this? Because of the rule of 72. Money doubles roughly every 7 to 10 years in the market. A dollar invested at age 30 will double 3 times by the time you retire. A dollar invested at age 40 will only double twice. That missing double is the difference between retiring on a beach and retiring as a greeter at a grocery store. So, ask yourself right now, Are you close to 1 times your salary? Or are you at 0? Be honest. Write the number down. Now, let's move to the messy years. Welcome to your 40s. This is often called the messy middle. You might have kids. You might have a mortgage. You definitely have back pain. This is the decade where lifestyle creep tries to kill you. You get a raise, so you think you deserve a nicer car. You get a bonus, so you upgrade the house. Most people in their 40s look rich, but are broke. They have the BMW in the driveway, but $0 in the investment account. They are playing a status game they cannot win. So what is the number? The average net worth is around $90,000. But most of that is trapped in their house. Their liquid investments, the money they can actually use, are shockingly low. If you rely on the average, you are on track to be poor. By age 40, the goalposts have moved significantly. You should aim to have 3 times your annual salary in net worth. If you earn $75,000, your net worth should be $225,000. If you earn $100,000, your target is $300,000. Why 3 times? Why did it jump so much from the previous decade? Because of compound interest velocity. Between age 30 and 40, your money should have started working for you. Your investments should be earning almost as much as your salary is. This is the decade where the snowball starts to roll on its own. If you are sitting there thinking, Ryan, I am 38 and I have $50,000. I am screwed. You aren't screwed. But the yellow warning light is flashing on your dashboard. You cannot save your way to this number anymore. You have to invest your way there. In your 40s, your focus must shift from saving pennies to growing dollars. First, are you maxing out the Roth IRA? Are you hitting the limit every single year? If not, why? Second, kill the mortgage. You don't need to pay it off entirely yet, but you should not be taking on new debt. No home equity lines of credit for swimming pools. No refinancing to buy a boat. Third, avoid the dad tax. This is when you buy toys, boats, RVs, trucks, because you feel like you deserve it after working hard for 20 years. You don't deserve it yet. Not until you hit that 3x number. The 40s are dangerous because you feel like you still have plenty of time left. You don't. You are halfway through your career. The halftime whistle just blew. And if you are down at halftime, you need a serious strategy for the second half. Now we arrive at age 50. The pregame for retirement. This is the decade where reality hits you in the face like a wet towel. At 50, you aren't guessing anymore. You can see the finish line. The question is, will you cross it running, or will you have to crawl? By age 50, the benchmark is 6 times your annual salary. If you make $100,000, you should be looking at a net worth of $600,000. Ideally, a huge chunk of this, at least $400,000, should be in liquid investments like stocks, bonds, and your 401k, not just your house equity. You cannot eat your living room. Why 6 times? Because if you want to retire at age 65, you generally need roughly 25 times your annual spending. That is the famous 4% rule. If you have 6 times your salary at age 50, compound interest can easily turn that into 20 or 25 times over the next 15 years without you adding massive amounts of new money. This is called coast fire. It means your nest egg is big enough to roll downhill on its own. It means you can potentially take a lower paying, less stressful job, and your retirement will still be secure. But what if you miss this number? What if you are 50 and you have $100,000? If you are behind at 50, you have lost your greatest ally, time. You can no longer rely on 30 years of compounding. You have to switch to brute force accumulation. This means you need to utilize the catch-up contribution. The IRS allows you to put extra money into your 401k after age 50. You need to use this. You need to pour every spare dollar into tax-advantaged accounts. This also means considering the downsize. Do you really need the 4-bedroom house now that the kids are leaving for college? Selling the house and investing the equity is the fastest way to jump from 1x to 6x overnight. It hurts emotionally to leave the family home, but it hurts more to be broke at 70. And finally, you must strategize on Social Security. Every year you wait to claim Social Security, up to age 70, your payment goes up by 8%. That is a guaranteed 8% return backed by the U.S. government. It's the best investment available to you. Age 50 is the fork in the road. One path leads to freedom. The other leads to being a financial burden on your children. Choose wisely. I can feel the panic in the room. I know that statistically, 70% of you watching this video right now did not hit those numbers. You aren't at 1x by 30. You aren't at 3x by 40. You are sitting there thinking, it's too late for me. I messed up. I should just give up. No, giving up is a guarantee of failure. Fighting back gives you a chance. It is never too late, but the strategy must change. If you are behind, you cannot play defense anymore. You have to play offense. Here is the velocity protocol to catch up 10 years of lost time in just 3 years. Step 1. The gap audit. You need to widen the gap between your income and your expenses. Most people try to save 10%. You need to save 30% or 40%. Ryan, I can't save 40%. Yes, you can, but it requires radical changes. It means selling the expensive car with the $700 payment. It means no vacations for 2 years. It means meal prepping every single lunch. It means picking up a side hustle. You are in financial rehab. It hurts, but it works. Step 2. The S&P 500 Accelerator. If you are behind, you cannot afford to be conservative. You cannot have your money in a savings account earning 0.01%. You need growth. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned about 10% per year. You need your money in the market. Every day your cash sits on the sidelines is a day you are losing the battle against inflation. Step 3. Income is the lever. You cannot budget your way out of poverty if your shovel is too small. If you are 40 years old and making $45,000, the problem isn't your spending. It's your income. You need to job hop. You need to upskill. You need to ask for a raise. Increasing your income by $10,000 is significantly easier than cutting your expenses by $10,000 when you are already living lean. Let's look at the scoreboard one last time. Age 30, 1 times salary. Age 40, 3 times salary. Age 50, 6 times salary. These numbers are not laws of physics. They are guideposts in the fog. If you are ahead of them, congratulations. Keep pressing the advantage. Don't get cocky. If you are behind them, good. Use that fear. Let that fear drive you to make the changes you have been avoiding. Money is simply a tool. It buys you options. It buys you time. The clock is ticking. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. If you are watching this and realizing, Ryan, I am ready to catch up, but I don't know where to put my first $1,000. You are in luck. I broke down the exact investing strategy for beginners in this video right here. It's not magic. It is math. Click it. Start the clock. And I'll see you there.